The best laid plans of mice and men go off awry. So do the plans for supersizing and growing your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our idiom today is of mice and men. The best laid plans of mice and men. I love this idiom. It reminds me of fairy tales and things. And you would think I would have mice around me, but thankfully I do not have any mice to use as props today for this video. I'm sure I have toy mice or a couple of mice that go on the Christmas tree, but I haven't unpacked those things yet. I haven't done our Christmas tree yet. So what does this idiom mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it to build and grow and supersize your business? And make sure that you anticipate that your plans are not always going to work out according to the way you map them out and strategize. Things are going to go wrong. Things are going to happen in the world and outside of your control that need to be taken into consideration that you probably couldn't even have considered. Think global pandemic, right? I don't know about you, but very few of us, at least I will admit it, had global pandemic in our contingency planning, or it didn't even cross my mind for most of my businesses. So this idiom is from 1785, and a Scottish poet by the name of Robert Burns used it in, there's a little confusion over what the title was, The Mouse or To a Mouse. I suspect it's To a Mouse, not The Mouse. But anyway, it was a poem that he wrote that talked about mice and men plan things, yet the plans almost never go according to the plan, right? Things don't work out as we plan them to. Doesn't mean we shouldn't plan. It doesn't mean we don't budget. Doesn't mean we don't plan. Doesn't mean we don't prepare and think of possible contingencies. It just means that we have to make our plans knowing that they have to be ever-changing, living, breathing, changing documents, just like we are as we build and grow and supersize our business. Deviations from the plan, how do you handle those? For my organization, since 2020 for sure, we have used something called the SOAP framework. I like my bars of soap to teach the SOAP framework. And that is a simple 4-step process that helps us to deal with any challenge, setback, obstacle, problem, anything that happens that we need to deal with. We need to make a decision about and take some action in order to make sure that it turns out in our favor. Even though our plans might not work out perfectly, we need to have a way to tweak and test and change on the fly in order to get what we want long term. So what's this 4-step process? I'm going to share it quickly. Story, options, action, and progress. Story, what is our current situation? Identify the problem, but don't spend all your time there. Hop to what you want, our desired situation and story as quickly as possible, because then we're focusing on solutions instead of problems. O stands for options, and keeping in mind that there are infinite possibilities. So here's where we brainstorm, well, how are we going to get from where we are to where we want to be? Because when we do that current to desired situation and story analysis in our brains, and when we do it on paper, we see that there's a gap between where we are and where we want to be. And then we start focusing on, okay, how are we going to get there? We're not going to focus on why we're here and all the other things and feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to focus on the solutions and how we can get from where we are to where we want to be. And in options, we talked about lots of different brainstorming techniques over the last 4 years. We've talked about it. So what are different ways you can brainstorm options to keep us out of that dual mentality where we think that there's a paradox where we only have one or two solutions, that there's only one or two things we can do. Either we quit our job or we, do something unethical. Either we close our business because we've had a problem, or we figure it out. I say figure it out. So the A in our SOAP framework stands for action. We can't take action until we analyze the options that we came up with in the O of the SOAP framework. So we analyze those options using, again, different tools and strategies to come up with what is the thing we're going to do right now. As soon as we make a decision and a choice, we want to immediately take some form of action moving us toward that choice. And finally, P stands for progress. How do we know if we're moving in the direction that we want to go? Sometimes we do stuff, believe it or not, that actually moves us backwards and away from what it is that we want. And what do? How do you tweak and change and take another action? I just go back cycling through and through that model. Reminds me of Plan, Do, Check, Act from my quality days in college, learning about quality engineering and things. And that is a model. That's a framework that I still use today. Hey, I got this problem. Plan, do, check, act. What am I going to do? So That's our idiom for today. I like this one. It reminds me that no matter how prepared I think I am, which gets me to action faster, right? If I get into paralysis analysis or analysis paralysis because I'm analyzing, researching, studying, trying to get all the information to create a plan that I think is going to work the first time, I'm just practicing an exercise in futility because I know that no matter how prepared I am, I'm going to have to figure some things out on the fly. So that's my take on this particular idiom. Love to know yours. Share in the comments below. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it to supersize and grow your business? Have a fantastic day. Bye.